Okay. Um, so first of all, I would like to say thank you to Thầy Frank, who devotes time and knowledge to share with us about the philosophy that we have been learning. Thank you for Mr. Lung. This also gave me the chance to share, to practice today. Yeah. So so our viewers, all of us know that our life always shaped by the three men's perspective. Their comic views, which is religion, the world views is science, and the human life views.
Stop for a moment. Pretend that we are a new person who don't know anything.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is not an exam where you are trying to prove that you know the material to the teacher. There's no teachers here. So the best way to practice is in your mind, you're just imagining the people here are the people who don't know anything. And so what you're trying to do is create value and pass on your knowledge. And so we have to speak in such a way that a person who don't know anything will understand.
Okay.
Yeah, that also means don't bring in any knowledge that you haven't mentioned yet. For example, last time I think you were sharing and you said you were mentioning the 9 type of people. Well, if a person who's never learned about the 9 type of people don't have no idea what you're talking about. So you want to, just practice as if we don't know anything, because that is the mastery of your speech, mastery of your word. Every step-by-step interaction is to help the listener expand and open their mind. Okay, and we don't say anything that we haven't mentioned before. So in this, according to the 21 day, this is just the beginning, right? We haven't learned any advanced stuff, so don't mention any advanced stuff. So whatever topic, just focus on that topic and as if we don't know anything. Okay.
Thank you. So being a human, we are always shaped by the 3 men's perspective. Their comic views, which is religion, the world views, which is science view, and the human life view, which is the morality. So no matter where we are in the world, the 3 perspectives influence us. Some people are more shaped by the morality and some other by religion or by science. Whichever perspective we learn on more strongly shape our way of thinking accordingly. So as we grow, school and teacher gave us the knowledge about the worldview, which is science. And when we grow up, our worldview is also expanding. And by the time the science also more open about the worldview too. The cosmic view to me is influenced by the family, to what the ancestor and family believe in, and then we grow up with it. The human life views is all about human and about the inner being, but very rare class talking about the human views. So sometimes when we interact to people, sometimes we do it right, sometimes we do it wrong. It's just hit and miss, and we really don't have a basics of understanding about the human view to interact with people. But luckily, we have the knowledge from the sage. That's who the wise man, the teacher, who has been teaching us, and they has pointed out that being a human, we our lives are focused on four aspects. First one is the inner being, secondly, health, and the third is relationship, and the fourth is the science, the finances. This is the four main aspects of the human life. So when we understand about these four aspects, we will know how to deal with any problem that we encounter in life. First of all, I would like to ask you, since you are aware of life, is there anything in life that you want to do but you cannot do it? And how do you recognize the reason that hold you back from doing something? It's just a question to wake you up. You don't need to answer, because we are going to analyze what is our fear and our limitation. So the wise man has pointed out that every one of us, being a human, we carry both within or around us a kind of cocoon or a cell, and it's around us in layer. So I'm going to draw the image, the metaphor of what I'm going to say. So this is the human, this is us, and we surround by the sixth layer. So I'm going to use different color to represent for each layer. So the first layer is the self-trivialization. So the first layer, self-trivialization. And this is the layer. So it's around this little person inside. And the second one is the fear of failure. Fear of failure. I'm going to use different color. And the third one is fear of criticism. Different color. So the cell getting thicker and thicker. And the fourth layer is the lack of condition. Lack of condition. So I'm going to use this black color. And the fifth is the lack of knowledge. Knowledge. We have a thick layer now. And the sixth layer is lack of future vision. Another layer. So these are 6 layers that surround us. And each layer just tie us back from what we want to do. So for example, the first layer is the self-trivialization. It's a self-limiting awareness that it means that we have that we see that ourselves is just an ordinary person and we telling ourselves that we cannot do this, we cannot do that, and setting a limit to our potential and hold us back from transformation. Our goal is to into another version of ourselves. So let's see how do we go through this layer and break through to become another bigger person. The second layer is the fear of failure. This is one of the barriers that keep a person inside their cocoon and don't want to get out of the comfort zone. So when we fear of failure and we dare to act, feel afraid of failing, that makes us hesitate to take the new step, and this holds us back from facing with new challenges. This is one of the barriers that hinder and block the growing of us. And the third layer is the fear of criticism. It's also a huge barrier that's very common in the society. We fear of people to criticize us, especially from our loved one. We always care about what they're saying. Like other people can say it, but the family member or our loved one cannot say it. So this is one of the fear that also hold us back from transformation. And the second layer is the lack of condition. You should have an S in here. Condition. This is the feeling of lacking the resources, or the belief that we don't have enough of what we need to take an action, and we hesitate to do things when we feel that we do not have enough our competency. We don't have enough time, we don't have enough health, and we don't have this is so many kind of things that we said we don't have enough. And the another feeling that the feeling of lacking of knowledge, this also included in the lacking of the condition too. So what is lack of knowledge? This is the fifth layer. This is one of the barrier that's also wrapped around. It is a sense of not knowing enough. We feel that we're not ready to do because we don't have enough information or knowledge, or we uncertain about how to proceed with something. So it just hold us back from taking the new step. And the sixth layer is the lack of future vision. This is the difficulty in seeing or planning for the future. So when we don't know where our future is and don't know where we are heading, lack of future vision is one of the foundation of the lack of knowledge, lack of condition, and also is the foundation of the fear of judgment and criticism, fear of failure, and self-trivialization. These barriers hold us from moving forward. They wrap us, and then that's the last layer that just thicken ourselves. So how do we get through of this cocoon of these six barriers to become another better version of ourselves? So our goal is to become another bigger person with a big body, big legs, and the big hand, and with the more wisdom, with the trees antenna or three hairs on the head. So how do we get through of this cocoon to become this person? It is transformation. We see the transformation, and we see a journey. We see pathway to go from this little person to this bigger person. Just like um, just like that, we think as a chicken egg, how it's become a living being. So when we crack the eggs out, it means the external force. The eggs become what? It's become a food, and people eat it. But when it have an impact from inside of it, it's become a living thing. It's amazing. So it's the same if applied into our life, into a human. It's the same thing. Transformation from both from external pressure, suffering, loss, crisis may push us forward, but very temporarily. The pain isn't enough to make a change. Sometimes suffering can make a change, but we have to go through a very difficult journey. And some people may change, but some don't. And the greater, for whoever not change, the greater pain may follow. And if that still doesn't work, life may bring suffering so deep, and we are left with no choice. And if even that it doesn't awaken us, then loss may be arrive and forcing transformation through grief or collapse. And that's it a very, very hard way. But the sage have taught us a different path. Transform not because of suffering, but because of love. Because we love ourselves, we don't want to go through suffering. We don't want our loved one to go suffering. But we want to transform, and we want to expand ourselves because we wish to live more fully, more happy. And that's the foundation of awaken your inner self and cultivate peace and joys. That is a journey, a path that we are going to elevate our awareness to release the limitation of the self-awareness and rise beyond them. It's just like a rocket that to repair to launch. Imagine that we are ourselves held down by the six heavy change, and the engine is running, and we are ready, but we are held back by the six chains. And that the moment that the six chains are released, we saw this is an image of ourselves with the limitation, with the six limitation awareness to transform into another better version of ourselves. So this idea will encourage us to change, to transform into a better version. The sage, the wise men and teachers show us the pathway to expand ourselves, and we will go into a journeys of elevating our inner awareness, and we will find down what we will cultivate in this beautiful path. So I hope that we will have we will go into the journey together, and we will all growing and transform into a better version of ourselves. So thank you so much. That's my sharing today.
Okay, excellent.
Wonderful.
Always a, her mentality, her attitude, her energy is always so balanced and positively oriented. Okay, very adorable. Okay, good energy, good balance. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Few things. Vocabulary. Let me share with you some of the vocabulary that the team has been uh, working on. Did I show you? Did I show you the list of the vocabulary that we? Let me see. Screen 2. So this is what we've been doing. Okay. These are the vocabulary that we've been working on every night from 9 for me at 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. at night. For Miss Entang, it's 11 p.m. to 1 o'clock a.m. at night. Okay. So let me with this, let's share so that we for the three point of view, or so when we talk about the 3 point of view, we can say that as a human being, we are primarily governed by 3 point of view. The point of view of worldly matter or worldly view. Okay, this is a point of view. Okay, worldly view. Okay, which things of the world. Okay, matters of the world. Okay, worldly view. And for the most part, science is good at helping us with the worldly view. Okay, so this is a vocabulary. This is more or less official vocabulary. You can write this down and use those words. Point of view, worldly view, which is dominated by science. And then there are things that science cannot explain. This is the cosmological view. Okay, cosmological, not cosmic, not cosmo. Okay, cosmological is a long word. Cosmological view. Okay, go ahead and write that down. And cosmological view is dominated by religion and faith. Okay, cosmological view explain the things that are visible and invisible. The cosmological view explain where our whole cosmos is made up from a religion and faith perspective. While some people have the worldly view, many people explain their life through the cosmological view. Many people are neither religious or scientific. Okay. And at the same time, there is the perspective of the human life view. For now, we use the word human life, but I'm going to be humanistic view. And humanistic view can simply be explained with moral philosophy. Okay, moral philosophy. Not just morality, moral philosophy. Those are just some vocabulary that we are beginning to sort of finalize. Okay, and you guys get to help us use this vocabulary. And when you say it, I get to hear it, and I get to hear, okay, does that sound good? Does that not sound good? And so we make adjustment. So that one of the value that you are contributing is by using this vocabulary, it helped us finalize the vocabulary for other people. Okay, the worldly view, the cosmological view, the humanistic view. The worldly view is dominated by science. The cosmological view is dominated by religion and faith. And the humanistic view can be answered by moral philosophy. Okay, so that's just the comment on vocabulary for both of you. Back to the sharing. Back to the other one, the sixth barrier of sharing. So when we study or when we prepare our lesson, we need to pay attention to some key points. Okay, key point. Okay, multiple S. Tiếng Việt là trọng điểm or focal point. Let's do focal point. Okay, still working on the vocabulary. Okay, trọng điểm. Focal point. Okay, focal point. Trọng điểm. I'll do it in Vietnamese. Okay. There are two types of focal point. Trọng điểm tri thức. Trọng điểm tri thức. And trọng điểm nhận thức. Okay. The focal point. So focal point of knowledge that we are trying to get across. And the focal point of awareness. Okay. So knowledge. Okay, so let's go back to the sharing of the go back to the sharing that we were practicing earlier. What are some focal point of knowledge? What are some key knowledge that we want to get across in the sharing that on the picture of the sixth barrier? If we can summarize, let's say the top three main point of knowledge that we want people to know in that sharing, what would some of them be?
So it will be about the cocoon, the sixth layer.
The 6 layers, the cocoon, and the transformation. Yeah. The 6 layers, the cocoon. Actually, the cocoon is the 6 layers. So that's one point. That's one point. Okay. We have these barriers that we use the cocoon as the idea that they are the barrier. There is the cocoon or the shell or the 6 layer. That is one bit of knowledge that we want to share with other people. The other is the idea of transformation, becoming a bigger person, becoming a more mature and bigger person. Okay, so you see this cause and then to the beginning and the end. And all of that, through all of that knowledge, if we just share the knowledge, it wouldn't sink into the person who listening or watching the video. In order for it to sink in and become part of another person's awareness, we have to focus on how we shift that awareness. Okay? And in the past, we have already talked about awareness. Trọng điểm nhận thức. How do we make a person nhận thức? How do we cause a person to have awareness? we give them positive images and we give them beneficial or favorable source concept. Okay, the simplest way, so the mental image, this part is important, the mental image. That's why if you go back and study the original original sharing of Masterthon, you will see that he always begin by drawing the picture before talking. Okay, so you wanna, when you do the sharing, you wanna begin by drawing the picture. And pay attention to the color too. Okay. Pay attention to the color too. So I think he used red. Usually he used red. Okay, so he draw the person, and he said the person is inside a cocoon or a shell. Okay. And he doesn't go in and talk about the 6 barriers just yet. Okay. He talked about, he set the goal early in the sharing. You want to set the goal early. The goal is to break out of this shell, okay, and become a bigger and better person. Okay, you want to set the goal early because you begin with the goal in mind. It's gonna help the listener, the person studying, reach that goal. If you kind of walk them around the 6 barrier, they might get busy and they might not come back to the class and they would miss out on the goal. But even if they leave early, let's say you only have 5 minutes, okay, you may take, let's say, half an hour to talk about this whole thing, but the person who listened may only have 5 minutes. They may just sit down for 5 minutes and they may leave. But within the first 5 minutes, we give them the goal. We give them, okay, the goal is to get to become a bigger and better person, a more mature person. And so we draw this picture early on in the sharing. Okay, you want to draw the picture. This picture is all they need. They don't even need that you list the six barrier. Okay. So you want to make sure that we draw this picture early on in the sharing, and then we can go through and we draw a bunch of layers, and then we talk about this all of that stuff. Okay. The trọng điểm nhận thức, the point of awareness. One of the things that I shared with you earlier is in Vietnamese, they don't use, in the Vietnamese sharing, they don't use this concept, but I share with you guys the idea of a cognitive shift. Okay, cognitive shift. A cognitive shift happens when a person have a certain awareness and we break it or we expand it, we give them a new awareness. A person have a certain perspective and then we give them a new perspective. That is a shift in their cognition. Cái thức của họ nó đổi. Okay? And so the point of awareness, the point of cognitive shift is a point where we say, we all grow, we all mature, right? This is a perspective. We draw the picture of before and then after. The picture before is that all of us here, we all grow, all of us here, we all experience change, okay? But that change comes from usually pain and suffering. It is pain and suffering that cause us to change. It is like the egg being crushed from the outside in. Okay? But here, instead of letting external pressure force us to change, instead of letting external force us to change, we want to initiate change ourselves. You see the contrast between outside in versus inside out. This is a point of a cognitive shift, a change in the way people look. Previously, we allow ourselves to be pressured to change. We wait until pain and suffering in order to change. That is one perspective, one awareness. Now we break that awareness. We cause a new awareness. We say, okay, instead of doing that, why not change from within? Okay, change from within. We break out using our own effort. Okay, because why? Because to wait for pain and suffering is like being the egg being crushed at breakfast, and that's the end of the egg. That's the end of the egg. But if the egg were to break out from inside out, that's new life. So here's a picture of the end of the egg versus the picture of new life. Being broken from the outside in, breaking from the inside out. You see the shift? That is a cognitive shift. That is a trọng điểm nhận thức. Okay? And then and then I use the idea of a caterpillar. Okay, this is not in the official sharing, but I use the idea of the caterpillar. The caterpillar, a little worm, it'll eat. As a caterpillar eats, it goes bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's not the same as if the caterpillar going into the cocoon and coming out as a butterfly. So we all change, we all growing and changing, growing and changing. We do that every day. We all grow and change. That is one perspective. That is the caterpillar eating and eating and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. However, there's a difference between eating and getting bigger and becoming a butterfly. And now it's a whole different picture. You paint a picture of a caterpillar and you paint a picture using your word, or you can draw it on it, using the caterpillar and then a butterfly. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon and come out as a butterfly, that is a transformation. And that's when you nhấn mạnh, right? So the idea of causing a shift or a nhận thức for another person is you paint a picture that they already know. And you draw a new picture, a bigger, a better picture. In that moment, they have a new awareness, new perspective. They experience a transformation right here, right now. You get it? Yeah. Yeah, we all grow. We like a caterpillar eating. Cái ăn thì cái con sâu nó bự lên nhưng mà nó không có biến thành con bướm. Cái quá trình biến thành con bướm gọi là chuyển hóa. Okay? And then you go back. Okay, you go back to the same principle. It's always drawing a picture and then draw a better picture. Draw a picture of what they know. Okay, you want to establish what a person know, and then you break that, either break that picture or draw a brand new picture that is better. Instead of letting pain and suffering be our teacher, instead of letting pain and suffering cause us to change, why not? Okay, why not change out of love? Okay, that is nhấn mạnh. Cái đó là cái trọng điểm nhận thức. Okay, so before we wait around for pain and suffering, life experience teach us. Why not out of love for ourselves initiate change from within out? And so all of that is more important than the six 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Once you get that, once a person get a picture of that transformation, that then you can go in and fill in the blank and we can talk about them. Okay, yeah, what are these, if you want to transform, what is holding you back and all of that stuff in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and at the end of the sharing, there's another trọng điểm nhận thức, another picture. So the teacher used, imagine a rocket ship, okay, with 6 chains. Okay, and then if you can break the 6 chain, then the rocket ship can fly away very far, very fast. Okay, so trọng điểm nhận thức và trọng điểm tri thức. Okay, I mean, you want to focus. If you have only 5 minutes to talk about, okay, so you can practice. This is what the master had to do. If you have to only 5 minutes maybe you're in an elevator. Okay, you'll imagine you go into a big building. It's a tall building, like 50 stories high, and we have only 3 to 5 minutes to get the whole story across. What can we say to cause the person in the elevator to understand what they were trying to say? The only way to do that is to paint a picture of what they know, break that picture, or draw a new, better picture that is in big contrast with the initial picture. Okay? What did you guys get out of that my sharing just now? What are some lesson impression that you had just learned?
Yeah, thank you, Tape Frank. What I got from the lesson that I got from you, that when we sharing the topic, the first thing that we have to focus on the focal point, and it will be the knowledge and the awareness. So the knowledge is the material that we need to share with people. For example, we talk about a topic, we need to talk about the cocoon, the six limiting awareness. And then the other is the awareness that's either cognitive shift, that how um how do we change, how do we transform, and also from beginning we need to show them the picture in the goal first. Like we need to draw the picture of the person in the cocoon and the transformation into a bigger person. So we need to set up our point, set up our goal. Then we can lead people easily from 1 to 10, for example.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. You got already. I just remember our master Tuan. When he write down, after he write down already, of course, you use many kind of pen, many kind of color, different color to take note, and he also he repeat many times when he on the class, he repeat many times, even just one sentence, but he repeat. I remember maybe over 3 times. Yeah, so that's the focal point. Yeah, the focal point, he repeat and repeat. So it, yeah, come to the people, the student mind easier, and maybe after that they can remember, and they no need to review the lesson anymore. So that's the point I got it. And today, Mr. Frank also remind us about that thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you want, you can next week we can try the same lesson. You can try the same idea. I mean the same topic, or we can move on to a different topic. It's up to you guys. Okay. Okay, up to you guys. Okay.
Miss Phuc, you can share very good. You very good in English.
Yeah.
Where are you living, Miss Phuc?
Thank you. I'm still learning. I still don't have. Okay, so now that I'm talking about my lack of knowledge again. I don't have enough vocabulary.
No, actually, your English is better than me already. Yeah, much better than me. And so you can explain. You can talk very fluently. With me, actually over 10 years already. I don't use the English. Now I'm trying to practice more, and sometimes even the simple the simple word I also forgot. But
You know what?
when you sharing, as the Mr. Frank say, the energy, you keep balance, the emotion, everything is perfect. I think you don't need to learn mental seven anymore. You go to share.
You kidding me?
You have
Your English is very good too. Your English, you very good too. You just need to practice. Do you learn the grade one pronunciation in English? You take that class?
no.
Yeah, that's okay. If you're not taking that class when we go into when we go into the mentor 7, we're going to learn it too. It'll be 3 module, and the first one will be the pronunciation that we will learn maybe 2 months. So you will learn how to pronounce correctly. That's very helpful. I learned that class, and then I went to the 2nd grade, and then I stopped because it conflict with my hours, like morning time
Wow.
that I work. Yeah, but actually it helped.
Yeah, and with Mentor 7, you're going to be very busy. Okay.
Yeah.
Did Master Guanmin talk about thủ đắc? Did anyone mention thủ đắc?
Yes, he talk about that's acquisition, right? Acquisition is thủ đắc. She talk about that. But like it's not mandatory. Like we do it on our own. We don't need to submit our acquisition to the teacher. So that's just like we have to do it for our own knowledge.
Yeah.
Also, you use for imprinting.
Yeah, that's the official word for imprinting. Printing, in ra đó, in.
Yeah, but in English they use acquisition.
Okay, so previously we used acquisition, but we're not going to use the word acquisition. It is a form of acquisition, but imprinting is a new word. It is not required for you to turn in the assignment, but in order to do the sharing and be a successful inner being coach and consultant, you have to thủ đắc. Okay, the best way to thủ đắc is to set aside one amount of time each day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and just listen and write down what the master say. Okay, K36. Cái khóa nội tâm 36. You take that and you just listen. Whatever the master say, you either type it in or you write it. You don't think. Yeah,
and you know what?
Làm thử chưa?
It's time consuming. It's when I do it for like 7 or 8 minutes, it takes me like an hour to write down.
Don't worry about that. Just write what you can in a state of mind that is at the most serene. Spend 15 minutes of your time. Don't worry if it only takes 30 seconds in the master time. Don't try to finish the whole don't try to finish the whole lesson. The point is not to get through the whole lesson. The point is to empty your mind, stop analyzing, stop worrying, stop thinking, stop setting goals, stop anything. Just listen and write. Listen and write. If you miss something, that's fine. Just pass on. Sometimes he'll talk slow, sometimes he'll talk fast, sometimes we type fast, sometimes we write very slow. Okay. I don't do the writing part. I listen because I have to drive a lot, and so I spend a lot of time just listening over and over and over. And as you listen, you just imprint, you just take it into yourself. We don't analyze, we don't think about it. What happened? It goes into our subconscious. It goes into our subconscious mind. We absorb the balance and positive energy from the words of the master. And so when we speak it, later on, when we go back and we speak it, we will be able to automatically do it similarly to the way he does it. Okay. Because I have to translate it to English, because both of us here all of us here were also trying to learn it in English. It's a little bit more challenging than the people who just there's a Vietnamese and then share back in Vietnamese. Okay, but you should spend some time to go over the K36. You know, every day, spend a little bit of time to listen. If you don't have time to write, then at least listen. Just listen to the K36 go from 1 to 21 days, and just let the sound, let the voice, let the energy flow, and then you write it down if you can. Okay, and then after you do that, you can practice sharing in your mind in English, and then pay attention to the nhận thức and the knowledge. When we first go through a sharing, we're not going to remember all the knowledge, and don't focus so much on the knowledge. Only grasp one or two key main focal point, but focus on the awareness shift. It's not your quantity, it is the quality. Okay, you may not be able to get everything across, but you only need to get one or two knowledge across. But you do that with a cognitive shift. It's very powerful, very, very powerful. And that's how you change people's life. Because if you just share nothing but knowledge, anybody could do that, but you don't change a person's life. And what's the point? Or the whole point is to help another person transform. And the only way that they transform is that their mind shift, the cognitive, cognition shift, the awareness shift. Mhm. And
So
yeah,
it looks like that the knowledge that we learn is just the information, and the material is the connected self,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, the information is just information. But in order for a person to experience a new life, they have to have a new awareness. Okay, a
Yeah.
new awareness. And the only way to have the new awareness is to cause them to realize that, oh, their old perspective is not very useful, it's not very helpful. Okay. Then this is a new way of looking at it. This is a better way of looking at it. That's basically that's all there is to it. Everything that we do here is to try to help a person have a better awareness about life. Right? Nâng tầm nhận thức nội tâm, to
You just
expand
help me.
awareness. Hmm?
Sorry to interrupt you. You just help me to elevate my awareness.
There you go.
Talk
There
about
you
the
go.
awareness and connected self.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Nâng tầm nhận thức nội tâm, okay. Nâng tầng bậc trí tuệ, expand the awareness, expand the range of awareness, expand, elevating the levels of wisdom. Okay. And then the vocabulary, you all have this vocabulary. Okay. Did you look at this before? The list of vocabulary?
Where is it?
So open up your Google Drive.
The link you just share, right?
Yeah. This screen right here, you all have it. If you open up your Google Drive, okay, if you open up your Google Drive,
You have it too?
you have it. You click on the shared with me. Okay, you click on the share with me, you will see a link called Team kind of more English. Go ahead and open it up right now. I think you should be able to see it. Just go open a browser in
Do you
another.
have my email? Do you
It's
have my email then?
that file is already look the people who are in this list. Đặng Tâm Phúc này at Yahoo này. Oh, Yahoo.
Can you get
Oh,
into Gmail, please?
add people. Yeah, what's your Gmail?
Why you have my Yahoo?
Cái này, I don't know. I think they got it from your registration or something like that.
Oh my, why I have that? It's on so maybe they're from Telegram.
Maybe, I don't know. So whoever did this list, probably got it from your Telegram. Okay, because they want. But anyway, what is your Gmail?
Okay,
You
Tracy.
you you
TR.
share. Sorry to interrupt. I can share with you, Mr. Phuc, by Telegram. Mr. Frank, give me the link from the Telegram, please, and then I pass to Mr. Phuc.
All right, I would like him to have my correct email and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can share
Can you type it? Go ahead and type it into type it into the chat. Type it into the
to-
chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Tracy Dorobiala. Is that your English name, Tracy?
So when I first came here,
Mm-hmm.
I did nails. I was a nail technician, and you know
Oh.
that to work in a nail salon, I need because my Phuc, like people cannot pronounce my name. So uh, my aunt called me as she asked me to give me two names, Vivian or Tracy, and I picked Tracy. But I think I
Okay.
should pick Vivian because Tracy is like a person that who brave or something, and to go through challenges to be brave.
Hôm qua là cô Quế Minh có nói về cái việc đặt tên đúng không?
Yeah.
Trong mentor
So
đã bảy đó. So cái quá
yeah.
trình cái quá trình mà đặt tên cho mình cũng là một cái quá trình rất là thú vị. Okay. Don't just settle for any name. Just do a little bit of research, find out what it means. And some people, my wife, look at thần số, nhân số học này kia, để, whatever it is that make you feel very proud and you enjoy hearing that name. Okay. So anyway, yeah, if you go to your Google, click on share with me, you see a link called Team KNN English, and that should be a big file with a lot of vocabulary. Take some time to go through that. The main one you still want to study is the Vietnamese nội tâm cả 36. Okay. So before we do any practice, well, before we practice sharing, make sure you, if you don't have time to write it down, just listen to the K36, and then you can take note in English. That's what I do. I just listen to the K36, and then I take note in English. That's how I do the sharing. A little bit more challenge because we're bilingual. We have to do a little bit extra work, but no big deal. Okay. Tâm thái tốt thì nó ngon.
So it will be the vocabulary V2.
Yeah, vocabulary V2 is a big one. Okay, a big long list. And
Okay.
then định nghĩa V1, định nghĩa you see this one. Okay, định nghĩa. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
định nghĩa. Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you.
But right now we're working on vocabulary V2. Okay. We just more or less finalize the tuyên bố master mentor. Did you guys started doing that yet? Or no? Did you start reading the tuyên bố? Or no?
By English?
In Vietnamese á, trong cái meta 7 có đọc tuyên bố chưa?
Yeah, có.
Yeah, okay. So this is the English version on the right side. Okay. Just something to know. And we even translated the triết lý giáo dục tận gốc. Okay. So even though we're studying, just don't be too attached to it. Like vocabulary will change. We're still working on it, and you are contributing to the way that it sounds when you're talking to me. I get the sense, okay, it sounds good. It doesn't sound good, and so I suggest changes to the translation team later. Well, anyway, I know it's late over there in Vietnam, so good night. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Phuc.
Have a
Okay.
nice day.
Miss Phuc, do you have any friend from the mentor cell when we invite someone to join with our class more
Okay.
for more interesting?
Have
Yeah.
Phúc học lớp thủy mặc á, lớp thủy mặc đang gọi trên Zalo vô lớp học đẹp.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So good night.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good day. Yeah. Thank you
You
so
too.
much.